A portion of this video is sponsored by ESR. Back in September, Apple announced the AirPods 4. Then they mentioned you can get them with noise cancellation. My personal experience using open earbuds with ANC has always been laughable at best, so I had to try these. Needless to say, I was pleasantly surprised. But more on that shortly. I'm here to give you my full thoughts on the Apple AirPods 4. Links to everything I mentioned in the video will be in the video description. So let's jump straight in. So first, let's start with that Bluetooth connection. So the Apple AirPods 4 are featuring Bluetooth 5.3 with SBC and AAC as their connection codecs. While the AirPods 4 are compatible with both iOS and Android devices, you will need an Apple device to experience the full benefits of having earbuds within the Apple ecosystem, like easy pairing, as well as being able to seamlessly switch between devices like your iPhone, iPad, or MacBook. If you need to pair these with an Android device, simply open the case, keep the AirPods inside the case, then double tap 3 times just below the light. Once you see the light slowly blinking white, you're in pairing mode. Simply select the AirPods 4 in your Android Bluetooth menu and you should be good to go. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth range, I got about 43 feet or about 13.1 meters in my testing. Obviously, that will vary depending on how many walls or obstructions you put between the earbuds and the phone that they're connected to. Now, we also get single usage mode here, and it does work well. The AirPods 4 do have wear detection sensors, so the music will automatically pause when you take one of them out. But if that bothers you, you can always disable the wear detection in the AirPods 4 settings. You also retain the ability to use noise cancellation and transparency mode with a single earbud in your ear. Now, when it comes to watching video and mobile gaming, the AirPods 4 have minimal latency when watching video or when playing games. Apps like YouTube, Netflix, or anything like that work perfectly, so no issues here. Now, when it comes to mobile gaming, there is minimal lag when playing games on an iPhone or an iPad. However, I did experience a bit more lag when paired to my Android devices. Not sure why that is, but I wanted to make sure that it was noted in my review. Now that's going to bring us over to the design, and the AirPods 4 are still using that standard stem design that AirPods have become known for. Compared to the Apple AirPods 3, the AirPods 4 are slightly slimmer and fit a bit deeper into my ears. When it comes to comfort, please remember that comfort is highly subjective since all of our ears are shaped differently. For me, the AirPods 4 are very comfortable. They feel super light in my ears and they don't create any pressure or any pain points. So there's no discomfort or ear fatigue at all after hours of usage. And I've completely run the battery out. We're talking 4 or 5 plus hours of usage here. No pain, no fatigue, nothing along those lines. Now, one question that always comes up is whether or not these earbuds will be good for workouts or for sports. This answer will always depend on your ear shape. Now, during my walks, I haven't experienced any slippage and I didn't need to readjust them. However, I would recommend these for workouts since they literally fall right out of my ears during incline bench press, or if I lay down wearing the earbuds. Now, to be fair, I do have large ears, so this is most likely why this happens. If you have smaller ears than mine, you will probably be okay since you will experience a tighter fit with the AirPods 4. Now, these are also featuring an IP54 water and sweat resistance rating, so no issues with getting sweat or having water splashed on them. And yes, I have thoroughly tested and thoroughly sweated in these, and so far, no problems whatsoever. Now, another thing that people like to do with their earbuds is sleep. Yeah, I know that's not for everybody, but a lot of people do. Now, this is another one where user experience may vary. For me, the AirPods 4 actually work better than expected for sleep, both for back and for side sleep. But they will fall out of my ears every single night without fail. So even though I might fall asleep, laying on my back, have them in my ears, and I'll fall asleep just fine, when I wake up in the morning, both of them are gone. So every single time without fail. So again, large ears probably going to be the culprit here. So your experience might be different than mine, but I just wanted to share the honesty and the truth of my experience trying to sleep with these earbuds. Now that's going to bring us over to the controls. The AirPods 4 are featuring pinch controls, similar to what we got with the AirPods Pro. Sadly, we didn't get the swipe volume controls from the AirPods Pro 2 on these. I don't know why Apple hates us, but here we are. Now pinch controls are very responsive and they are easy to use. And you can do a single pinch, double pinch, triple pinch, as well as a long pinch. And there is a bit of adjustability here in the AirPods menu in iOS, but not very much, not like the options that we see from brands like Soundcore, Sennheiser, or Sony. We also get head gesture controls to interact with calls or other notifications. For example, you can nod up and down to accept a call or turn your head side to side to decline said call. Kind of cool feature. I don't personally use it, but it does work surprisingly well. Last but not least, you also have ear detection, as I mentioned before, for automatic play and pause. It works well in my daily usage. However, it's no longer a capacitive skin sensor like the AirPods 3. These are using more like an optical sensor or like a light sensor for ear detection, so it's less accurate, so your experience with this feature might vary depending on your ear shape. So just something to keep in mind there. Now, normally this is where I would talk about app support for a set of earbuds. Sadly, there is no AirPods app to be had for Android devices. On iOS, you get a menu for the AirPods that's built into the iOS settings. But if you're planning on using these with an Android, then you are SOL, for lack of a better word. You are completely out of luck. This is why I rarely ever recommend AirPods for Android users, since they are locked out of many features. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you a full rundown of all of the different settings that are available inside the AirPods 4 menu on iOS. There's plenty of videos on the internet that are doing that, so please feel free to check those out, but definitely make sure you do. If you have an iPhone and you're going to get the AirPods 4, go in there and play around with things, because you do get personalized spatial audio, accessibility features, head gestures, microphone settings. There's a lot of different things you want to mess around with in there, so please make sure you do that. Overall, the settings in iOS for the AirPods are actually pretty thorough. Just really sad to see that there's still no true app support for Android the way that they've done for their Beats lineup. That'd be kind of cool to see, but I doubt that they're ever going to offer us this. So now let's move over to the actual performance of the Apple AirPods 4. So first, let's start with that battery life. Now, Apple is claiming 4 hours with noise cancellation turned on, with an additional 16 hours in the charge case, for a total of 20 hours combined. Now, these are usually best case scenario situations, like 50% volume, something like that. So I went ahead and tested these claims for myself. Now, with noise cancellation turned on, I managed to get 3 hours and 48 minutes, and with noise cancellation turned off, I actually managed to get 5 hours and 23 minutes. So overall, their battery claims were pretty spot on. So overall, decent battery life in my opinion. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. Obviously, volume level, noise cancellation, transparency, and spatial audio will all affect battery life, so only use those features as needed to maximize your battery life. Now, when it comes to charging the case, you do have USB-C and you have wireless charging. Sadly, there is no MagSafe here, most likely due to the small case size, but you can add MagSafe to the AirPods 4 by picking up a case from our video sponsor ESR. The new ESR Cyber FlickLock case features an internal locking latch combined with strong magnets in the lid and the case to keep your AirPods safe and secure if you happen to drop them on the ground. The case also features a swiping slider here on the front to give you easy access to your earbuds. You can easily open and close the case with a single hand. The case is also MagSafe ready, featuring strong magnets in the back of the case for a secure lock on MagSafe chargers. You've also got precise cutouts for the status light charging port and for the speaker on the bottom. And if this case isn't your vibe, ESR also has their Orbit hybrid case if you want something with great protection and similar features with a different look. You still get the magnetic locking lid and MagSafe charging compatibility, so be sure to check them out at the links in the video description. Huge thank you to ESR for sponsoring a portion of this video, and thank you for your time. Now that's going to bring us over to the active noise cancellation. This is the biggest surprise with the AirPods 4. I expected the ANC to be poor considering the open design of the AirPods 4. By open design, I mean the lack of silicone ear tips to seal the ear canal. My past experience with open earbuds offering noise cancellation were disappointing to say the least. I'm looking at you, Galaxy Beans. To my surprise, the ANC effect with the AirPods 4 was very effective. Now, to be clear, we're not talking AirPods Pro levels of noise cancellation, but I'd say that the noise cancellation reduced ambient noise by about half, worked especially well against steady low and low mid-range frequency sounds like AC units, fans, etc. On the downside, the AirPods 4 do feel a bit more stuffy with noise cancellation turned on, and by stuffy, I mean more of that cabin pressure feeling you get with very strong active noise cancellation. I'm guessing that this is due to the strong level of ANC required to achieve noise reduction on open earbuds. So if you're sensitive to cabin pressure, the non-ANC versions of the AirPods 4 might be a better choice for you. But overall, I am genuinely impressed with the noise cancellation performance of the AirPods 4. Now that's going to bring us over to transparency mode, and transparency here is simultaneously good and bad, but let me explain. So with the transparency mode shut off, you still hear the world around you perfectly fine since these are open earbuds. With transparency mode turned on, you get this weird echo reverby effect. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's sort of what it sounds like to me. It's more like talking in like a long hallway or a tunnel. It has that weird sound to it. It sounds strange and artificial. So So for me, I don't find myself using the transparency mode at all. I tried using it and I'm like, what's the point? These are open earbuds. So I'm sure if these earbuds seal up in your ear a little bit better, this would probably be more useful. But for me, the transparency mode is just kind of like, what's the point? So yeah, but that's what I mean by it's simultaneously good and bad at the same time. So now let's talk about the sound, and let's start with that volume. Now, getting this measurement was difficult due to the fact that these are open style earbuds. I managed to get 112.5 decibels of peak volume. Now, I believe with a proper measurement rig that can actually simulate an ear, this measurement would be noticeably higher. These are still quite loud in my experience, and just to my ear, these sound far louder at max volume than 112 dB. So these are still very loud from what I can tell just on my own personal experience. I mostly use them between 40 and 65% depending on the environment. Max volume here is way too loud for me personally, so please be careful with these earbuds and turning that volume up too loud. Now, if you're getting any value from this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. It's completely free and the engagement helps my videos reach more people like you. So now let's get into the sound quality. So with the AirPods 4, Apple is using a new driver design. Now I'm going to quote Apple directly here. The entirely new acoustic architecture uses an Apple designed low distortion driver powered by a custom high dynamic range amplifier. Sadly, I can't find any additional information about these new drivers or their, high dynamic range amplifiers. That's all the info that I have. However, I can say that I am pleasantly surprised by the sound quality of the AirPods 4, especially for an open ear configuration. The AirPods 3 and 4 continue to be the best sounding open style earbuds I've tested so far. Now, with the AirPods 4, you also get spatial audio, and this is still one of the very best implementations of this technology on the market in my experience, only bested by the AirPods Pro 2 and the AirPods Max in my opinion. Now, for movies and shows that support spatial audio, the sound and immersive experience is absolutely fantastic. With music, it can be very good too, so long as the music actually supports this feature. Some songs still don't sound good with spatial audio, but that's to be expected. But thankfully, Apple Music has an extensive selection of supported music to choose from, so you can actually enjoy this feature with these earbuds. But now let's go ahead and break down the sound. So first, let's start with that bass. Now, bass here is actually better than I expected for this type of earbud design. Same thing I said about the Apple AirPods 3. It's obviously not the same as earbuds with silicone tips, but still decent in my personal opinion. Now, this is bass that you can hear more than you can feel, although with the right songs, you still do feel it a little bit. The bass has a nice punch and kick drums sound particularly natural here. Now, one of the test tracks that I used for testing bass response was North Cack by G Yamazawa. This track comes through like boom bap before dropping a heavy bass line, and this shows the AirPods 4 ability to reproduce bass in a surprising way. Give this track a shot if you haven't heard it. Now moving over to the mid-range, the mids are smooth and warm if a bit recessed in my opinion. This is where having a proper EQ would help, but Apple isn't giving us that anytime soon. This can make the mids seem a little dull or a little quiet at times, which is not my personal preference. Overall, the mids are decent in my opinion, but not bad, but also not great either. Nothing to write home about. And if you're somebody who loves their mid-range like I do, then, you may have to rethink this purchase. Now, one of the test tracks that highlights the strengths and weaknesses with the mid-range is Sweet Thing by Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. The live drums and the horns combined with Shaka Khan's sultry vocals are a must-have in everyone's playlist. Now, that's going to bring us to the treble. Now, the treble here is very good in my opinion. It's never harsh or shrill. It always remains clear despite the song choice. Whether it's smooth jazz or some classical or even metal, the sound always comes in crisp and clean. You also get some decent soundstage and good stereo separation as well. Now, one of the test tracks that I used for the treble was Suavecito by Malo. This is a staple Sunday night oldie that features excellent live instruments along with rich vocals and harmonies from the band. Definitely one that, I'm sure you guys have probably heard this song before at some point, but still something that should be in your playlist. But as an overall for the sound quality, I am decently impressed here. I wasn't expecting these to be better than the AirPods 3, but to me, listen to both back to back, yeah, I prefer the AirPods 4. Definitely impressed with the sound quality here. Now, when it comes to any sort of constructive criticism, first and foremost, I would love to have a customizable EQ. That would be super, super awesome for all the AirPods lineup. And I know I'm not the only one who's been saying this for the longest time. I love having that personalized sound and all of that stuff, which is great. But at some point, let us have manual control. Apple has a lot of fans who also happen to be audiophiles or audio enthusiasts, so this would be a cool feature to see from Apple. Please and thank you. Secondly, the hit or miss fitment, right? For some people, these are going to fit perfectly. For other people, they're going to fall right out of their ears. I know this is going to be kind of tough to really manage. One of the things that I think would be cool if they could do it, because you see these on Amazon all the time, are those like wing fits or wing cushions that people add to their AirPods to help them stay put. It'd be kind of cool if they included something like that in the box. I'm just saying. And then lastly, no app support and features basically being locked on iOS or in the Apple ecosystem. Now I know this, I'm beating a dead horse here with this, but this is just one of those things where if they can do this for their Beats products and have an app that goes for Android so you can, have it on both sides, why can't we do this for the AirPods? So that's, to me, this feels like a no-brainer. Why not just integrate that into the Beats app? So I don't know. Just my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if the Beats app on Android supported the AirPods. I think that'd be kind of dope. But that's just me. Now, there's going to be two questions that I know are going to come up, and that's going to be whether or not the Apple AirPods 4 are better than the AirPods 3. The answer to that is yes. They're smaller and more comfortable with improved sound quality, not to mention the active noise cancellation that actually works much better than expected. And then also, are the AirPods 4 better than the AirPods Pro 2? No. The AirPods Pro 2 are still the king in Apple's sound lineup. Better sound, stronger noise cancellation, and overall better performance in my personal opinion. So that's going to bring us over to some mic samples for those who like to take phone calls with their earbuds. Now I'll be doing both quiet and crowd noise tests so you can see how the AirPods 4 perform under different conditions. Now the AirPods 4 also feature voice isolation for calls, so we're going to see how well that actually works. I'll also throw in some competitors to see how they stack up against the competition. All right, and here we have the microphone sample for the Apple AirPods 4. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here we have the microphone sample for the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd Gen. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm indoors once again in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, and here we have the microphone sample for the Soundcore C30i clip earbuds. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm indoors once again in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, and here we have the mic sample for the Nothing Ear Open. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, once again, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Apple AirPods 4 in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd Gen in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Soundcore C30i in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the mic sample for the Nothing Ear Open in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Now, with that out of the way, and for full disclosure, a portion of this video was sponsored by ESR, as I said at the beginning of this video. The rest of this video is my own opinion. The Apple AirPods 4 were purchased by me with my own money for my own personal use. So needless to say, ESR sponsoring a portion of this video in no way swayed my opinions on the performance of the AirPods 4. Either way, please be sure to watch multiple reviews on the Apple AirPods 4 before making your final purchase decision. Now, if you're interested in seeing my tier list of all the true wireless earbuds I've tested so far, check out the video I'll leave right up here on the screen. With that said, my name is Jefe, and I'm out.